So I don't know if this is good video because I'm like sitting on the bench right in the sunlight. It's okay. But I had to express this because I made some angry posts lately or the other day because I was sent a video of my daughter just out of the blue. And even though, they meant well, right? And, I used to think that intention was everything, right? As long as you mean well, it's fine. But I'm learning that that's not really the case because I've had several incidents where someone may have, they've meant well, but it still caused harm. It still caused some form of destabilization, right? So in saying that, I think that we need to be more mindful of how things affect someone else on the other end. I think that's really important. And not to just give. It's just like giving a gift, that you like, when truly the gift is for the other person. You want to give a gift that they like. You may not like it, but if it's something that they like, then that's, a genuine, gift, right? That's just an example. But I'm just bringing up my rage post and, my anger or whatever, because a few things, anger, rage, it's just so inconvenient for other people because it's not comfortable for them. If I mention, I make a post about, who's your favorite Mortal Kombat fighter, everyone responds. And that's awesome, right? Because we want to engage in things that are fun. And fun is an important aspect of life. But so is rage. So is grief. So is, anger. It all has its place. I'm not one to pretend like life is supposed to be just this peaceful, peachy, fun, rainbows and, bright sunny sky all the time, because it's not. That's not real. And I honor the truth. That is my design. I'm not about to come on here and be fake. We already have enough of that on social media. As you can see, with Yada Awakened being an abuser, which I've seen years ago, with the first time that he basically forced her to give birth on live. And I could feel her energy. I could hear her thoughts. And she didn't want to do it, but she was too afraid to go against him. I felt that years ago. And when I said something, so many people in the live just said, "Oh, you a hater. This is beautiful, blah, blah, blah." And I'm just like, people just have such a hard time honoring what the truth is. And the truth is not always pretty. Anger and rage is needed. And I understand, oh my God, it raises your cortisol. It may shorten your life. But anger and rage also is necessary. It is sacred because it cleanses. It opens up the way for the truth so that real solutions can be in place. Because concerning my personal and intimate path, I grew up in a home where I was abused as a child. I didn't know that I was neurodivergent until the age of freaking 40. Which is really destabilizing. It's so freeing to know that I am autistic, that I have ADHD, that I have dyslexia, because I understand my life so much more. It is a key that I've been given that makes the puzzle. It opens up doors for me. And I'm sure a lot of other people who are late diagnosis can agree with that. But for my path, I grew up in an abusive home. I grew up where I was bullied, where all I understood was abuse and being belittled and being made to be worthless in so many ways. I was a straight A student my entire academic career, but I was still getting my ass beat for no reason because my mother was angry for whatever reason. And I'm not going to say for whatever reason. She was a single mom. She had to raise kids alone. I get it. Work a job that she hated. I get that, especially as a single mom with absolutely no safety net right now as myself, right now in my life. I totally get it. But she didn't treat her other daughters the same as she treated me. I have a different father. I was definitely treated much differently. And I still am, because I'm still fighting for my daughter who they stole from me. And it's almost been 10 years now. So excuse me if my rage or my anger is so inconvenient or it's ugly. It is what it is. And it's needed for me because it clears that the last remnants of this people-pleasing aspect that I've had attached to me and ingrained in me that has been super harmful to me and has kept me in bondage. And I did not realize it because it was deeply implanted in me, because it started really from birth, from as long as I could remember. And that's not easy to just take out. And, you know, as the spiritual community loves to throw into people's face, take accountability. Well, taking accountability also encompasses having an even level playing field, which I wasn't granted. In a lot of ways, my childhood was taken from me. I had a genius when I was, and I still do. It's not like it's gone. You know, what God gives you is yours. But it was interrupted for decades because of the abuse. Because I didn't even know that I treated myself so poorly because I was trained to do so. That's how I was treated as a child, as a teenager, as an adult, and still now, by the ones who I grew up with, by the ones that I expected to be caregivers. And so my rage and my anger now, and even in the past, has given me the righteousness, the motivation to keep going, to understand things a lot better. To be angry, to be in a rage, it clears up the deception. It clears up the debris. And it clarifies. It cleanses. Just like when y'all burn y'all sage and your Palo Santo and you saying you clearing the air, it's the same damn thing. And I need that, because those days of people pleasing, those days of keeping my mouth shut because I felt bad for the ones who were doing me wrong, because I have such a big heart, because my heart is pure and I don't like to see anyone suffer, even those who have caused me harm. Those days are over. There is no more grace given to those who did not give me grace, because what about fucking me? What about me? What about the gifts that God gave to me? Am I supposed to just shit on them because they have guilt that they can't face? Am I supposed to sit here and say, oh, it's better to be happy, it's better to have fun, when I know that I'm being wronged? How is that honoring me? All of these years, all of these decades that I've been silenced, that I've been treated so poorly, I'm supposed to just continue on as if it did not happen? Because people feel that I'm supposed to be this way or that way, when it's not even your personal path? That's bullshit. Advocate for yourself. Stand up for yourself, because God gave you yourself. That's what's real. God gave you yourself. You are a gem. You are something to be protected. You are something to rage for. You are something to be angry for. And being fake, masking, I've done that for decades. And it was poison. It was total poison to myself. It was self-sabotaging. I'm done with poisoning myself because I don't deserve that for anyone. So excuse me, and I'm not going to cuss. It's not necessary. Excuse me if the rage and the anger is inconvenient. It's true, and it's needed, and it's necessary. It's necessary because it's there, and it's real. You know, emotions don't come up to go back down for you to swallow them and pretend like they're not there and say, oh, I'm just gonna have fun. I'm just gonna ignore it and sweep it under the rug and go play a game or do something fun. Because it's still there. And that's what's even more harmful than expressing your truth, is swallowing your own anger, your own grief, your own rage. That is more harmful than anything, because your body records, your physical body, your spirit, your soul records all of that. It holds on to that. And then we wonder why we have diseases, why we are sick. It's not just what you eat, it's what you spiritually eat. If you're eating your own pain, for what? So everyone else can be comfortable when you're not? I don't give a shit about that anymore. If my anger, my rage, or whatever makes you feel uncomfortable, then that is a you problem, not mine. I cannot do for another. I can't move your arms and walk in your shoes. I can't be your feet. I can only be mine. And that goes for everyone. And I'm not just saying this just to only speak my truth. I know I'm not the only one who goes through this. I am speaking for the underdogs because I know how hard it is to have your own voice and to speak truth. And truly, only those who go through this walk truly understand it. Others can empathize, but unless you walk in the shoes, because I have, some other people come on here just, speaking with a tone as if I don't fucking see that shit. I'm a medium. I see you and I feel it before you even open your mouth. You come on here with this condescending tone, a know-it-all, or, oh, well, what you're going to do next? What you going to do with that anger? None of your fucking business. I don't have to answer to you. Yeah, unfriended, blocked, and deleted. Because I'm not tolerating anything that gets in my way anymore. And I don't have to prove shit to anyone but myself and to God. That is it. Because when I die, I'm going to die alone. It's not about pleasing anyone. It's not about needing validation from anyone. And people are so quick, especially men, are so quick to want to do away with emotions because it's uncomfortable. I don't care about the discomfort. I've lived in discomfort for decades at this point. And I'm not saying that I'm making a home in it, but I'm not afraid of it. My soul planet is Mars. I am a natural spiritual warrior. It's in my blood. Not even in my blood. It's before my blood. It is in my spirit. It's in my soul. It is my soul planet. I am fire. So I'm not going to deny myself for anyone. It's never going to happen. Not again. And I encourage you that if you have your truth, even if your voice shakes, even if if no one in the room stands up and applauds you, God damn it, applaud yourself. Stand up for yourself and advocate for yourself. Stop performing and stop trying to fit in with everyone else when you don't. And who this message is for, you know that it's for you. It ain't for everybody. But you know if this message is for you, because it'll land right here in the heart space. Stop making yourself sick. This is why I have psoriasis, because of the rage that I haven't expressed, because I kept swallowing rage of seeing my daughter taken from me, of someone who went to the courts and didn't tell me about the court date purposely so that they could steal my child away from me, and tell the judge that I didn't care about my child because I refused to take her to the doctor for a cold. Yet we went to the doctor together to get her diagnosed for the autism that you continue to get checks for every single month. And I'm supposed to sit here quiet with a smile on my face and not say anything. I'm done with that. That's swallowing poison. This is exactly why my psoriasis developed during this whole ordeal, because I put a muzzle on my own face, and those days are over. Your wickedness will be exposed in more ways than one. It's time for you to be exposed. You've gaslit me enough. You've wronged me enough, and not only me, but my daughter, because you continue to keep her away from her mother, her brothers. She has brothers and sisters, another grandmother, a cousin, so many other people, so many other family members that you're keeping her away from just to prove to me that you could be a better mother when you don't have any kids of your own. And then for my mother, who abused me for so many years, to back you up because you're light-skinned, because my mother has a color complex, because I'm too dark-skinned, even though I'm not even that dark. Because I was too smart, because I was too bright, I was too brilliant, because I have an adventurous soul that they're jealous of. That's none of my issues. I've held it in for much too long. It's almost been 10 years. It'd be 10 years, December 22nd, 2016, when my sister went to the courts and lied to the judge with an emergency petition to take my daughter. And I'm tired of people telling me, oh, well, at least she's being taken care of. At least. And then they want to send me videos and photos of her when I haven't talked to her in months. And think that that's okay. It's not. And don't make it seem like it's okay until you've walked into my shoes. When you have your child stolen from you and you can't do any, and your hands are tied behind your back because the judge throws the papers back at you because you didn't come to court until a year later, because you didn't know that this shit was happening behind your back with the family that you grew up with, until you walk in those shoes, don't say anything to me about how I should feel, about what I should accept. That's not your voice. It is mine. Thank you very much, but no thank you. I hope this gave someone power out there, because I feel souls out there who haven't had a voice. I know how it feels to not have a voice and to be afraid to speak your truth, because no one wants to applaud when you're angry or when you're grieving. Fuck that. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for what God gave you. what God gave you, the gifts that you were given, it wasn't a conference call with everyone. It was a meeting between you and the divine. That's it. Because again, when you die alone. And whether you're remembered and whether you leave a legacy and all that shit, what's going to matter is how you feel about yourself. Who cares what anybody thinks? What you think and feel about yourself is what matters. I'm going to end it there.